to my channel. I'm gonna just do a short video to kind of get started. So basically I want to go into who I am, so I'm gonna tell you a little bit about myself, and then what my channel is gonna be about. I do make tumblers. I know you can see them behind me. So I make custom tumblers. Eventually I'll probably show you how I process orders. The holiday season is here and it is insane. So I had researched the Cricut, so the Cricut company, and I was like, well, you know, I kind of want a Cricut, I kind of don't. It's kind of expensive. My husband was like, no, let's go get a Cricut and we'll, you know, try to create something. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I wanted to make shirts, and then I wanted to do cards, and then I wanted to make hats, and then I wanted to do just like customized stuff for people. And then I got into like my parents, they own a coffee shop up north, and so I was like, oh, you know what, maybe if I get good at this I could make your shirts or something. And so I did that for a while, but I don't think making shirts was what I really wanted to do. Like, I like making t-shirts, but I started working on projects. I was making cards and shirts and all sorts of different things. And that worked for a while, and then I was like, oh, you know what? I have always wanted to do like my own business kind of deal. I really wanted to start an Etsy. So what I did was I opened up my Etsy store in, I believe, 2019. And I was like, oh, okay, I could make a couple things, post it on to my Etsy and see how it goes. So the very first thing that I posted was I did etched glass. So it was a glass jar, like a treat jar for a dog. And as much as I loved how adorable it was so expensive to ship. So the total that I had put on there, because I didn't understand Etsy. I mean, I had just started, it was my first sale. And I didn't quite understand the process. So I went to do the shipping labels and I went to ship it, and then I was like, oh, okay, it's glass. Like, it needs to be a big enough box with enough padding, because it was going all the way to Oregon. Well, I actually spent more on shipping than I made. So I was in the red. I didn't actually make anything off of that sale. But it was fine because it was for a family member, so it wasn't a big deal. But I didn't want to make that mistake again, because if I'm going to be creating stuff and putting out my Etsy, I wanted to be able to make that money back. So I thought, you know what, I'm not going to do glass, especially because my jars were roughly, I don't know, like this big. They were decent sized jars, and I mean, they're pretty round. So then I decided maybe I'll do shirts or something. So I posted some shirts. They were cute, but I wasn't getting enough hits. So then I moved on to another project and to another project. And then for a while, the only projects that I really did were for my parents and their coffee shop. And it was good, but I kind of wanted to I wanted to start my own business. So what I did was, since my parents have a coffee shop, I was like, oh, they have coffee mugs, that's cool. Maybe people would like, you know, like a tumbler, because it's a traveling coffee mug. That's really something I could do, like, because, you know, you want it to be shiny, you want it to look professional, you want it to be really good tumbler that people want to buy. So I made my first one and it was a fail. They are a lot harder to make than I thought. My turner was like this, okay? So I didn't realize, like, you know, how level it really needed to be. And my husband was amazing. He made me a turner so I could test out my first tumbler. And even though it was a fail, it was kind of fun because we got to do something together, and I really enjoyed doing that. So then I was like, okay, well, I don't want to give up. I want to make another one because it was a fun process. The end result just wasn't what I had anticipated having. So I made a couple more and they were all fails. I bought 2 new turners from Michael's, those like spin it turners. If you're gonna make a tumbler at home just for you, then that's fine. Get the spin it things, you know, they do work. It's just one end might have a little bit more epoxy than the other, which really isn't a big deal. Like if you're just making it as a gift for a family member, or if you're just starting out, they're actually perfect. If you want to really further your business and you want to make professional looking tumblers, my recommendation is to buy a professional tumbler turner. The ones that I have, you'll see I got off of Amazon. They're not that expensive, they're really quiet. I mean, to get one, it's not that expensive. If you want to get a couple of them, it's a little bit pricey. You're spending probably over $100 or so. I can't remember exactly how much they are a piece, but I think I have about 6 of them. So I made a tumbler off of one of those, and it came out perfect. It was flawless. And then I was making them in the room that I am in now. It is a more expensive process than doing t-shirts or cards or hats or something like that, because you not only need the vinyl, but you need places to put your tumblers. You need your tumbler turners, you need your epoxy, which you're gonna end up figuring out what kind you like, because everyone is different. You're gonna need glitters and paints and sanding and places to put your turners. Like I have a dog, so I can't put my turners on the floor, and I can't just leave them out in a random space. Like they have to be in a room that can be locked. He's smart enough to open up a door, so if I don't lock it, he'll just get in and either mess up the tumblers, or, you know, all the epoxy, it's bad. You know, same thing for kids. So it's kind of a bit of a dangerous process for inhalation, and it's also a skin irritant. So you want to make sure you're wearing gloves and you have your eye protection and your mask. It was a lot to get to this point. I had a little tiny desk, which you'll see in my video. It was a little tiny area in like our dining room / living room space, just in the corner, and I got so overcrowded with stuff that I had no place to put anything. And my husband finally bought me these racks, and then I ended up purchasing some foldable tables, which are behind me with my turners, and that helps a lot because I needed to be able to have a place to actually do the designing and the drying process, and then the actual tumbler process. So I'm kind of gonna show you a little bit about how I kind of do that and why I set up my studio the way that I set up my studio. So I will show you that now. So this is my desk that I was talking about. My little tiny desk. I got it from IKEA. So it's just a really good place to put my laptop. And then I have, I'm not gonna say her name because I already know she'll just start talking. But she's actually great for if I'm doing timers, because when you're doing tumblers, it's a lot of timers. You wanna maintain how long you're doing something. That way you know how long you're stirring the epoxy or how long your tumblers have been turning, so that way you know when to take them off. And then I have some shelving. So at the top I've got vinyl, I've got HTV, removable, permanent, and then I have just a couple of like decorative ones like glitters and different textures, holographics, things like that. And then on this shelf was basically my t-shirt making shelf. So I have my heat presses, which I still use, and then I have my heat press mat, and then just a thing to cut some paper. And down here is all of my shipping stuff. So when I ship, I have my scale, which is really nice because obviously if you're gonna ship with USPS or any other shipping company, you have to be able to know how much your package weighs to be shipped, so that way you know how much you're paying. And then all of my tapes, my bubble wraps, I have decorative paper. And then these are just some like wine gift bags that I kind of use for if it's like a family member's birthday or something. And then these are my shipping boxes, which I get off of Amazon, but there's plenty of other places you can get those too. And then down here is my paper. I do buy sticker paper because I put labels on everything. These are just my logo stickers that I usually put on the bottom of my tumblers. Occasionally those will change. Sometimes I don't put a sticker, but for the most part, that's what I do. And then this is just for when I'm taking photos. So you'll probably see those in my future photos. These are all of my tumblers. So I think I have about 50 or so tumblers. Actually, it's gotta be more than that. I have quite a few. On this side, it's mostly just for my parents' coffee shop because I make all of their tumblers custom. And then on this side, it's my tumblers. So that's kind of how I do that. It's just easier to stack them up on the highest shelf. And then some tumblers come with straws, so I keep those up here. That way I know exactly where they are when I'm sending out orders. These are the drying racks that my husband made me. They're wonderful because then I'm able to spray paint and let them dry, and it's just perfect. These are all the tumblers that I've currently made for orders that need to go out this week. So there's quite a few. And then obviously I'm still working on some more. I've got all of my chemicals down here on the bottom shelf. So my solution to strip any tumblers that need to be stripped if they get messed up. I've got all of my spray paints, my Mod Podge, my alcohol, my acetone. And then freezer paper is a tumbler's best friend. And then these are all the boxes that are empty that are gonna be shipped this week. So they belong to most of these tumblers. And then I just have this, it's like a roll-away kind of stand thing. So on the bottom I have sandpaper, and then I have like all of my glitters. So it's just a little thing that I can kind of lift out to put to my workspace. And then here it's just something else that my husband had made for me for my tumblers. And then just some paper towels if I make a mess. I have my leveler. And then I have gloves, my epoxies, and then my chemical mask, because this is really important. And then I put my my heat gun right here on the windowsill. It's perfect because it's out of the way. I know that it can hang, but it's kind of heavy, so I didn't really want to hang that up. Maybe in the future I will, but it works perfectly just like that, because now it's within distance of my tumblers and it didn't used to be. So that's really nice. And then these are my turners. They're a little messy right now. So currently I have some more orders, some more things that I'm doing. And then over here I have my printer, and then these are just drawers that are kind of filled with like this is like my tape and my Sharpies, my X-Acto knife blades. I've got papers, water slide, all different kinds. Infusible inks for t-shirts, extra vinyls. I mean, I have so many vinyls. Foam brushes, I've got lights, silicone. I don't really have anything down there. And then I kind of just keep this chair in here for any time that my husband's kind of wanting to hang out with me while I work. And then this is kind of my workspace.